Fair. Double 10. And yet again,
35.
Simon Adams has been
36.
given opportunities. Can he gobble this one up to take the lead? There is no way that he should be in the lead in this match.
Game shot
But he
on the
is.
third leg, Simon Adams.
He's doing what he's doing all week. He's finding ways of getting in front and winning matches. Temporary 4-point gap to the rest of the field. And in a very good position to qualify again. Tops is what he wants. Tops is what he
And the
finds.
match,
And Simon Adams moves 4 points clear of the rest of the field in second place. A victory against Martin Grierson that could be so pivotal. He qualified last time for the finals, and that could be a big win, which helps him en route to doing so again. He gets the better of Martin Grierson by 4 legs to 1. It was those plethora of missed doubles in the middle of the match that cost Martin so dearly. 9 all told. Adams wins 4-1. Coming up after the break, Jamie Atkins takes on Scott Campbell.
70.
Another crack at a big finish. The same one as before. This time he does get both trebles and decides not to go for it. Of course.
138.
Didn't even contemplate it, did he?
He's got a job to do.
100.
And how many times have we
Jamie
seen a
required 32.
play about with the bullseye and then lose a
Game
leg?
shot on the
And that is
third
a
leg,
total
Jamie
vindication as to his thought process there. It's been a tie who's been so good to him so far in this game. And it's the
Game
double
shot
16
and the
that
match,
wins him the
Jamie
game.
Atkins.
And it is a win that moves him on to 6 points in the group. It means he is well in the equation. As for Scott Campbell, well, it's another slow start for him, and he has got a lot of work to do from here on in. But for Atkins, that first game you felt was crucial. He wins it 4-2. He moves within a couple of points of Banks and Adams, who are the top 2 on 8. And we're going to see Thomas Banks for the first time today after the break when he takes on Moreno Blom. It's top versus bottom.
At first I'm thinking, what are you doing? But then you realise that Banks is on 188.
140.
He's
Moreno
not on it
required
anymore.
54.
Tops. He's
Game
found
shot
the
and
win
the match,
and the break
Moreno
in the last
Blom.
leg. A first win against Thomas Banks this week makes everything really interesting because the table is going to be almost symmetrical. Moreno Blom is part of the equation of that, there's no doubt. He's only in 4th position, but with that 93.77 average, I think that's his best performance of the week. And he might just be having a very good Friday once again. When we come back, it's going to be the start of round 2. It's time for Campbell to come back to take on Grierson.
Scott, you require 140.
Let's stay on that subject. Next leg. I think it's fascinating. He's on another checkout that requires 2 treble 20s, and he's got them both. Campbell!
Game shot on the third leg, Scott Campbell.
He needs to find a big treble with either dart 1 or dart 2. He finds the treble. He's going to get a dart at tops. Is 12 time the charm? No.
100.
No is the answer.
Martin, you
And now
require
Grierson will come
16.
back for more match darts.
If Martin hits this double, I just can't foresee Scott getting through this table.
Double 2.
Game shot
And
the match,
Grierson gets
Martin
through that
Grierson.
game, but just he had to come all the way behind to win in a last leg decider. Scott Campbell had darts to win it 4-1, 4-2 and 4-3. But it is Grierson that gets over the line. He won't know how. But a win is a win is a win. Grierson 4, Campbell 3. Coming up next, it is Simon Adams up against Moreno Blom.
You with the scoring board yesterday.
It's Adams who's got off to the quickest start. And he's going to have a dart at double 16. For the
Game shot on the
109 to
first
lead
leg,
1-0.
Simon Adams.
An amazing shot from the Saint.
Of real positivity.
Blom looks a beaten man. A dejected man. A man hopeless. But a man who's
shot
been
and
full of
match,
hope and
Simon
energy and
Adams.
positivity could be one step closer to tomorrow night's final. Simon Adams is the victor against Moreno Blom by 4 legs to 0. He moves to the top of the table. He moves on to 10 points. And that is his best performance of the week. 93.9 for the average, 4 out of 7 on the doubles, including that 109 checkout for Moreno Blom. Well, he did the damage in game 1, you felt, but he may have undone that progress and good work with that defeat there. Only time will tell. And so at this point, he is hoping that Jamie Atkins can get the job done against Thomas Banks. A win for the Bulldog from Norfolk, and he will be on 10 points alongside Simon Adams. And it looks like we may get a little bit of table separation.
In bridge, if you're playing the other person right now or in the future.
108.
And give that 60 a bit of a wallop there, didn't he?
$92.
Well, Atkins is upping it here. Banks hasn't really receded from the standard that he's played at for the whole game, but Atkins is having a good 5 minutes, and he'll just hope that it's not a case of it being too late for him.
140.
That was a fascinating
130.
start on that visit from 263. This really could be 9 wonderful darts.
Game
Oh,
shot on the
yeah.
5th leg. Jamie Atkins.
9 world-class darts from Jamie Atkins, and that is why a lot of people think that he's
6th
got a
leg,
future in
it's
this
Thomas
sport.
to
Banks doesn't put a hole in it. He does have a match-winning chance,
139.
but the
Thomas
pressure
Rickwild,
coming down on him
152.
over the last 10 minutes or so, it's been
44.
colossal.
Jamie require 40.
Well, it was a 12 in the previous leg. It could be a 13 here. What a
shot on the
passage of
6th
play
leg,
this has
Jamie
been from Jamie Atkins. 25 darts for the last 2 legs.
3-0 isn't safe, apparently.
Well, you should know that because games go 4-3 in this week.
133.
Yeah, they do. And there's another 1-3-3 on approach from Jamie Atkins, and that is now a match-winning chance for him. He has not
93.
given
Jamie
Thomas
requires
Banks a match
74.
dart in this contest. And that is every credit to him because he's now got 2.
Game
Well,
shot
what
and
a
the match,
recovery for Jamie Atkins from 3-0 behind. He is 1-4-3, and in the last 3 legs, a 12, a 13, and a 14 has got him over the line. It keeps himself in the equation. For Thomas Banks, that could be a seismic defeat. What a performance that is from Jamie Atkins. 97.01 the average, 4 from 7 when it came to the doubles, and that 130 checkout really kick-started things in the comeback charge. And so it means that it's Simon Adams who's in control of proceedings now. 10 points to his name, 2 in front of Banks and Atkins. Remember, the top 2 make it through. And it also means that for Moreno Blom and Martin Grierson, they're not out of it either. They're both within a couple of points of one another. And remember, Banks and Adams meet in the 3rd round of matches. And round 3 will begin with the bottom 2 going toe-to-toe. It's Blom and Campbell.
You require 100.
2 of them against the darts. This is with the darts. And it's a
Game
3-2
shot on
lead for
5th leg,
Blom.
Moreno
I think he's
Blom.
got to win the next leg. He's got to start making inroads in that leg difference just in case. Very light. He's not going to do another 150-plus checkout in the 7th leg of a match. So it's advantage Blom. Is it 10s or 5s?
It's
Game
double
shot
10
and the
and it's
match,
first
Moreno
time of
Blom.
asking, and Moreno Blom is just about still in the mix. He gets the better of Scott Campbell by 4 legs to 3. It was a great game. However, Blom will be thinking none other than the result at this present moment in time. 95.62 the average. Now, you can't see it on your screen there, but he had 13 ton-plus scores in that match, Moreno Blom, and it was that scoring power which helped him en route to more chances at a double and ultimately helped him en route to victory, which keeps him in proceedings. Coming up after the break, we're going to watch Martin Grierson in action as he takes on Jamie Atkins.
Martin, you require 40.
He has got to hope that Martin Grierson misses. And there's
Game
not a
shot
miss.
and the match,
And Martin
Martin
Grierson is
Grierson.
still in the mix, but it's great news for Simon Adams. It's great news for Thomas Banks. And it's great news for Martin Grierson, who moves up to third place in the table. He gets the better of Jamie Atkins by 4 legs to 2, averaging 90.89, 50% on the doubles. Coming up after the break is the top 2 that go toe to toe. If Simon Adams gets the better of Thomas Banks, he'll be on 12 points, 4 points above the rest of the field with a couple of matches left to go. Could be 2 legs in the next start.
$59. Thomas, you require 40.
Well, he's bounced back from a couple of disappointments. Well,
Game
moves
shot on
into a
second
2-0
leg,
lead.
Thomas Banks.
back-to-back 13 darters for Thomas Banks, and he really is in the groove. And Simon
Third leg, it's
Adams,
Thomas to throw
nor
first.
many can do
Game
anything
on.
about this. Look at Simon in the background. He's just
45.
laughing at how good Thomas is playing.
Thomas, you require 49.
Tots of the match. To
Game
round
shot
off a
and the
superb
match, Thomas
performance.
Banks.
You can see what it means to the Bulldog. The cry of get in, and to the top of the table he goes. A superb performance on the back of a couple of defeats to kickstart his day. He now has the ascendancy at the summit. An average of 95.73. 4 for 9 on the doubles. He gets the better of Simon Adams by 4 legs to 1, and it means it is he who holds the cards now at the end of the third cycle of matches. And so Banks and Adams both on 10. We have 3 players prized on 8. Campbell lodged on 4. Coming up after the break, Martin Grierson is in action up against Moreno Blom. But the 161 isn't going to go, and so Moreno Blom will step back up for double 12
Moreno, you require
to complete a
24.
4-0 win.
Game
In
shot
next to
and the
no
match,
time at all. In
Moreno
about
Blom.
8 minutes, Moreno Blom has got the better of Martin Grierson by 4 legs to 0. You sense he needed to get a big win somewhere. He's got a 4-0 win against Martin Grierson. An average just under 94. When it's good, the radar's really good for Moreno Blom. That's a real solid performance. Coming up after the break, Scott Campbell against Thomas Banks.
Did in
Thomas,
his
you
last
require
match.
112.
And after that, the result was academic. Oh, great dart.
Game
Brilliant
shot on the
finish, that.
first leg, Thomas Banks.
Call him the Bulldog, but that second dart was a bulldozer. Might not like what
Thomas,
comes
you
next.
require 94.
And another?
Game shot
Absolutely
on the third leg,
wonderful.
Thomas Banks.
There is a glint in his eye, a bounce in his step.
Thomas, you require 30.
And so Banks is back for a 4-0 win. It's double 15.
Game
It's a
shot and the
4-0
match,
win for
Thomas
Thomas Banks. And it's relief on the face of the Bulldog, who after a couple of defeats has picked up 2 big wins. And Saturday night is in the sights of Thomas Banks. The Bulldog, well, he's hoping for success on the Super Series stage. He may be taking a big step in the right direction. He has beaten Scott Campbell by 4 legs to 0. 4 from 4 on the doubles, including the 112 out. He has beaten Scott Campbell to 0. Coming up after the break, we are going to watch Jamie Atkins in action against Simon Adams. That could have done the damage in this group is possibly the 4-0 win for Adams against Blom in Game 5.
And here's the clincher. When you come to the last match that you play,
182.
you don't want to be playing someone who can also benefit from your bad performance. What I mean by that is, Adams is playing
81.
Campbell last.
Jamie, you require 105.
Campbell doesn't matter anymore. An 8-leg swing's not going to happen in that fixture.
Game shot on a
But a
first
1-leg
leg,
swing's
Jamie
just happened
Atkins.
right there. That's a great start in 12 darts, isn't it?
It's either win a leg.
24. Game shot on
Very
the
well
fifth
done.
leg, Simon Adams.
Points.
No
It
score.
goes low, and Adams comes
Simon,
back
you
to take
require
us all the way.
16.
And suddenly, when Jamie Atkins looked in a good position, Adams could be a leg away from making it through. He
Game
finds
shot on the
double
sixth
eight.
leg,
He
Simon
shouldn't
Adams.
be here. He shouldn't be in a last leg. Atkins should have had this game wrapped up. However, first prerogative is always the points. Tops for Atkins. He gets
Game
over the
shot
line
and the match, Jamie
against Simon
Atkins.
Adams. Well, you wouldn't know who was the victor and who was the loser in that match, judging by the facial expressions in that handshake.
Been a real wake-up
Second
call for
leg
Joe
is
Cullen.
Martin to throw first. Game on.
Former Premier League finalist. And now in the James Wade position of being on the bubble for a big tournament, which over the last few years he has booked his ticket for about a year in advance.
100.
Everybody needs a kick up the butt now and again. And when you come here, if you don't perform, you don't graduate to Saturday.
180.
Okay, Martin. What kind of kick would you like?
57. Martin, you
Would
require
you like a kick upstairs,
141.
downstairs, then a double 12? What are you up to? The collective groan of everybody at the live
89.
lounge, as if to say, oh, we're going to have to settle for just 3 $9 for the year then.
So
76.
Greeson returns for 76 to complete a 4-2 win to at least finish his campaign with somewhat of a high. Tops is what he wants.
Game
And
shot
Grierson
and the
will
match,
end with
Martin
a win.
Grierson.
He gets the better of Thomas Banks by 4 legs to 2. It's not going to be enough to send him through, even though he's moved on to 10 points. But it could well give him a bit more prize money, a few more pennies in the pocket, who knows. Well, it was a good contest, that. The numbers indicative of that fact. And Grierson picks up a 4-2 win against Thomas Banks. Coming up next, Moreno Blom up against Jamie Atkins.
156.
Shots on.
100. Jamie require
He's taking risks, isn't he?
112.
Jamie Atkins needs tops.
Game
And he gets
shot on
it in the
his
bottom
second
left
leg,
corner.
Jamie Atkins.
Okay,
Moreno,
he's
you
going to do the
require
next best job.
115.
Huge shot. Massive
Game shot on the
result.
fourth leg, Moreno Blom.
Tell you what, he's got bottle. Got rats in his brain right now. Double 7.
72.
Again, he misses double 7
Moreno, you
to give
require
Blom another
2.
chance.
And this
Game
time he
shot and the
seizes
match,
it.
Moreno
Eventually he seizes it as he seizes it. Well, 13th time lucky. They say it's unlucky for some, but for Moreno Blom, when he's done his side of the bargain, he's beaten Jamie Atkins by 4 legs to 1, and he now has to hope that Scott Campbell can get a result against Simon Adams at the tail of the tape. That 115 made it 3-1 and turned the Tungsten tide. Well, it all comes down to the final game of the group. Simon Adams up against Scott Campbell. A win for Adams and he would be through. However, if Scott Campbell can get the better of Simon, then Moreno Blom, who at the beginning of the day was bottom of the table, would have done it again.
Close.
Simon, you require 20.
You can breathe, Simon. And after a little bit of towel treatment, he can bring us to 2-1.
$10.
But
Scott,
this
you
time,
require
he cannot
25.
capitalise on a missed dart at a double. And maybe this time, his fate is changing. Double 8 for Campbell, 3-0
Game shot on the
Campbell.
third leg, Scott Campbell.
And Simon Adams here is facing the trapdoor.
And
Scott,
this
you
will not
require
feel easy,
2.
even though it won't affect his position, but it will affect somebody else.
But
Game
eventually,
shot and the
Scott
match,
Campbell gets over the
Scott
line,
Campbell.
and it's going to be Moreno Blom who joins Thomas Banks in tomorrow night's final. Simon Adams' courageous charge towards finals night has come to an end. Once again, he's provided us with entertainment. Once again, he's provided some excellent darts. But of course, the story of Simon Adams on the Super Series stage is more than just that of a darts player at the Hockey. He is an inspiration of not just a country but a continent, and I am sure we're going to see him again here at the Live Lounge. But the tail of the tape of that last game reads Scott Campbell 4, Simon Adams 0. But realistically, that's Moreno Blom 4, Simon Adams 0, because it is Moreno who miraculously qualifies. He was bottom of the table at the beginning of the day, and he is into the finals tomorrow night. We're going to hear from Thomas Banks in a few seconds' time. He's the player that topped the group. He's going to have a chat with myself and Paul Nicholson.